And I will begin with Iran having once again slammed the U.S. for threatening to starve the Iranian people. Iran's deputy ambassador to the United Nations, Ishaq Ali Habib, said using medicine and food as a weapon against civilians is a crime against humanity. Earlier, Iran's Foreign Minister Mohammad Javad Zarif also adopted a similar stance, saying the Islamic Republic will survive and even advance despite Washington's sanctions. On Saturday, U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo said that Tehran must listen to Washington if it wants the Iranian people to eat. The U.S. has reimposed sanctions against Iran, which had been lifted under a 2015 nuclear deal. President Donald Trump pulled out of the international agreement back in May. Joining us now out of Ontario, Canada, is Mr. Jason Unruhe, political commentator. Hello, Jason. Thanks for joining us back on the program. You have to listen to us if you want your people to eat. What kind of a statement is that, Jason?
That is nothing less than an intention to commit mass murder. Essentially, what the United States is trying to do is withhold food and medicine from people, and this particularly affects those who are vulnerable, sick people, in exchange for essentially what is U.S. demands over Iran that were never necessary, that were usually not even a part of the original JCPOA agreement. This is nothing less than an act of war and a crime against humanity that the United States is carrying out right now. Now, few times in the history of the world have we been able to see such a crime against humanity be carried out in real time. The United States has said that they are going to do it. They have made it very clear that this is something that they're going to do. They want to starve. They want to make sick, prevent medicine from getting to sick people for the people in Iran in order to forward their interests. If this isn't a declaration of war, then frankly, I don't know what is. This is truly the face of U.S. imperialism. They're not even trying to hide it at this point. There's none of this lofty terminology that they have used previously about caring about the Iranian people and wanting to protect them from their own government. This is nothing less than attempted murder of the Iranian people, who still thankfully have some chance to survive. How much the U.S. can really hurt them in this way remains to be seen. But there is no doubt in my mind that this is a malicious and deliberate attempt by the United States to essentially murder innocent people. The United States continuously went on about how this was about trying to punish the government or particular individuals within government and business for the completely fabricated violations of the JCPOA agreement. And then now here they are, just completely tearing off any kind of facade about compassion or concern about the Iranian people, and outright saying we are going to hurt them. We are going to make it so that they either bend to our will or they are going to suffer. If that's not an act of force, I don't know what is.
So, Jason, what has Iran done that's so drastic that would warrant such a caustic, statement from Mike Pompeo?
I think that what has happened here is that what I suspect is the original intention of the JCPOA agreement, and that was to weaken Iran and damage it to a point where perhaps they felt that the people inside of Iran would rebel against the government. This is not what has happened. Iran has significantly increased its economic and military standing, and not only that, but its standing with many of the countries that surrounded regional influence. This has not had the negative effect that it intended to. And I believe that this is the real reason why U.S. President Donald Trump deliberately sabotaged the agreement in order to try to put tougher sanctions on the country. If Iran did not build nuclear weapons, as they were not intending to, then they would build other defensive measures, and this is unacceptable to the U.S. The goal of ending the Islamic Revolution, that which ended imperialist control over the country, seems to be the direct and immediate goal of the United States in this case. Now, for a long time, they've tried to sanction and flip-flop back and forth on trying to get minimal means to try to destabilize the government and the revolution itself. Yet this clearly has not worked in this case, and they are now seeking a much more proactive, a much more violent, and frankly, really just showing what it is that they're really all about in this case. The United States is truly, I mean, I can't think of a better example for it, but to show that the United States truly is the enemy of the Iranian people in this case.
Go figure. You're mentioning U.S. policy not working in this case. Which country in the Middle East has U.S. policy worked in the last decade or two? Thanks for joining us. We're out of time. Jason Unruhe, political commentator there, joining us out of Ontario, Canada.